Does traditional media need esports, or do esports need traditional media? According to the 2018 esports market report by Newzoo provided by Statista, the worldwide esports market revenue is expected to grow from just $130 million in 2012 to over $1.5 billion in 2021. And that rapid rise has been achieved without the help of traditional television distribution.
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Esports has always been primarily broadcast online, most notably via Twitch, where fans from around the world tune in to watch professional tournaments for League of Legends, Counter-Strike, Overwatch, Rocket League, and many more. While esports on TV is nothing new, Activision Blizzard and Disney recently reached an agreement to broadcast the Overwatch League on ESPN, Disney XD, and ABC. Some have argued that this deal has set a precedent for more esports coming to television, but why would they need traditional media if they've been doing fine on their own? To answer this question, let's take a look at the numbers.
The SJT dynasty is over! All hail the new king! Samsung Galaxy!
Before we can answer that, we need to look at how esports compare to some of the major sports leagues that have thrived on traditional media. In 2018, Game 4 of the NBA Finals between the Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers, in which Golden State secured the NBA championship, grabbed the attention of 24.5 million viewers.
Final seconds here of this 2018 NBA season.
But the crown jewel in terms of American sports viewership is the Super Bowl, which racked in 103.4 million viewers in 2018. That's actually down 7% from the year prior, but still a massive amount of eyeballs.
And for the Philadelphia Eagles, the long drought is over.
Just like traditional sports, esports events vary greatly in terms of viewership numbers. The most viewed esports broadcast to date, in terms of unique viewers, occurred in May of 2018. According to Riot Games, the developers and publishers of League of Legends and the organizers of the game's pro circuit, the 2018 mid-season invitational final that saw Chinese underdogs Royal Never Give Up defeat the South Korean favorites Kingzone Dragon X 3-1 had over 60 million unique viewers. And this is only the second most important League of Legends tournament of the calendar year, and considering the record-breaking numbers, Riot Games are expecting big things for this year's World Championship. So, while the Super Bowl remains king in terms of North American sporting events, a mid-season League of Legends tournament managed to gain more viewers than the final game of the 2017-18 NBA season by a large margin. How is that possible? Well, the answer is that esports maintain an ease of accessibility for international audiences. For instance, League of Legends has a dedicated fan base all over the globe, from North America to Asia to Europe and beyond. You might be wondering, well, the NBA has an international audience as well. What's the difference? The difference is that, as with many of the popular North American sports leagues, the NBA has a geographically centered fan base which resides in the United States. The online base of League of Legends has allowed the game to find a global audience from the start. The same can be said for other popular online gaming communities. The most popular ones transcend borders, even continents, and with viewing platforms such as Twitch that is not bound by restrictive cable practices, the streaming platform and online platforms in general have an essentially unlimited growth potential in terms of viewership. It's simply too easy for anyone around the globe with an internet connection to go to Twitch's website and boom, you're watching your preferred game in a matter of seconds. This is a convenience that traditional media companies simply cannot compete with. That isn't to say that turning an online multiplayer game into a popular esport is easy. On the contrary, many games have tried and failed to enter the space to catastrophic results.
Now, we've got pictures of this on the left-hand side of our screens here. That's taking place in America. I thought it was only in Asia.
Another problem that the esports scene faces is its lack of easily digestible visuals. If you're a new viewer, it's a lot easier to process a player shooting a basketball and watching it drop through a hoop than it is to digest and understand an Overwatch match in which 12 players use different characters, each with their own unique cooldown abilities, ultimates, and strategies. Casual viewers are left with a perpetual feeling of what the hell is going on, which can easily turn individuals off this type of content. There are certain games that lend themselves pretty well to first-time viewers. You don't need to know much about Rocket League to understand it.
It's going to be off the backboard. Turbo not there in time. Energy! Take their first game of the bracket resets.
In contrast, while traditional mainstream media may be known for its easily digestible programming, it is no secret that subscribers to cable services and general viewership, even among public channels, has decreased dramatically in recent years. Meanwhile, online platforms like Twitch and YouTube continue to grow in viewership.
Possibly the first major new sport to be invented in over a century. And whether you like it or not, competitive video gaming is sweeping the world.
So, back to the original question. Do esports need traditional media, or do traditional media need esports? The truth is, they need each other. In order to gain exposure to more mainstream audiences, esports will need to find viewers who aren't already tuning into Twitch and YouTube gaming. You might be thinking that esports don't need mainstream viewers, but the investors that have poured money into the space would disagree. They want as many eyeballs on the product as possible to incite growth and a return on their investment. Traditional media is famous for making its programming easily digestible for as broad an audience as possible, and that is something that esports are in dire need of. Platforms such as Twitch may not feel inclined to make these esports events digestible in this way, as the vast majority of those who visit their site are well aware of the game's rules, boundaries, strategies, and action. One good case example for an esports phenomenon that has attempted to bridge this gap between online platforms and traditional media is the recently founded Overwatch League. While Overwatch League was certainly not the first esports league to come out, Blizzard took several unique steps to establish its brand. First and foremost, rather than forming teams with unique names, Blizzard committed to basing teams off geographic areas such as Los Angeles, New York, London, and Seoul, in an effort to be more like traditional sports leagues. Now, just like traditional sports, you can watch Overwatch League games, highlights, and commentary on ESPN. During the first round of the playoffs between the Philadelphia Fusion and the Boston Uprising, viewers totaled 127,000 on Disney XD's esports programming block branded DXP, which may not sound like a big number, but proves that there is indeed an audience to be reached on traditional platforms. And for Disney, it means attracting eyeballs back to their platform. In the age of cord cutters and cord nevers, television broadcasters need something to attract young viewers, and buying into esports at least provides online broadcasters like Twitch some competition.
That is what Overwatch is about. That's what it's about.
Traditional media and esports have been slow to warm up to each other, but as mainstream outlets become desperate to attract young viewers as numbers continue to decline, combined with esports' desire to reach more and more people, it's certainly in both parties' best interests to embrace what the other has to offer. That being said, we can clearly see that esports viewership numbers are going up, while traditional media numbers slowly but surely go down. But with Twitch and other online platforms making esports readily available to a global audience, it remains to be seen whether mainstream media's late entrance into the space will have the impact they're hoping for. Check out these other great clips from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.